The Middle Ages, where men viewed women with suspicion and distrust, and women's primary duty was to remain submissive to their church, fathers, and husbands. Women had little to no power over society, and their lives were often restricted. This episode explores the struggles faced by women during this period, including the disgusting things they endured. We will delve into the challenges they faced, the limitations imposed on them, and the ways in which they navigated the harsh realities of medieval life. Early marriages. In the Middle Ages, noble girls were often married off as soon as they were old enough to bear children, typically around the age of 12. Marriages were arranged to secure wealth, produce heirs, prevent wars, and form strategic alliances. Childbearing was seen as a woman's primary role, and those without the help of servants had to raise their children while maintaining the household. Young noble girls could be married as early as 12 or 14. For example, St. Bridget of Sweden, founder of the Brigittine order, married at 13, while Margaret of York, sister of Edward IV, was considered alarmingly old for being unmarried at 16. Henry III's wife, Eleanor, gave birth to the future Edward I at just 12 years old, while Henry I's daughter, Matilda, also married at a young age. Virginity was considered essential for noble women before marriage, largely for pragmatic reasons. Once married, their lives were dictated by their husbands, who could be either kind or cruel. Women's roles included managing pregnancies and facing high infant mortality rates, forcing them to have as many children as possible to ensure some survived into adulthood. Noble women who didn't marry were often sent to convents to avoid the shame associated with remaining unmarried. This was especially true for those whose families couldn't afford a dowry. Childbirth was often perilous, and many royal women died delivering heirs. Prostitution. The Middle Ages in Europe witnessed a paradox of tolerance and condemnation regarding prostitution. While night workers faced public humiliation and attempts to repress the trade, some women were forced into prostitution by their families or willingly engaged in it to support their needs. Lack of preventative measures led to high rates of pregnancy among night workers. Many disposed of their babies due to the challenges of raising children in that environment. Archaeological evidence suggests that in some places, female babies were more likely to be raised than male babies. Punishments. The removal of a woman's nose and ears was a punishment for adultery in some medieval societies. By disfiguring a woman's face, the goal was to make her undesirable to men. Adulterous men were often punished less severely, with fines or pardons. Women accused of adultery might also be subjected to the walk of shame, a public humiliation where they were forced to walk barefoot through the city, dressed only in their petticoat. The crowd would jeer and spit at them, adding to their humiliation.